What's up guys, my name is JKing9k here with the Pokemon Online battle against a friend named Terrell. Don't expect me to be the best at narrating this because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna suck at it. Anyways, let's go. So I send out an Archeops, he sends out a Roserade. Expecting him to switch out, I go for an Earthquake, but he goes for a Stun Spore surprisingly. So I go for another Earthquake, knowing that it will kill. So he sends out an Alomomola for this, I don't even know. And then he goes for an Aqua Jet, which I didn't expect at all. So I go for the U-turn just to get out of there, switch into my Galvantula. Galvantula is Choice Vexed or Scarfed, I forgot. Go for the Volt switch out back into the Archeops, knowing that the Archeops is pretty much useless now that its Defeatist ability is activated. Goes for the Stone Edge, I miss. Crobat goes for Confuse Ray. I go for the Stone Edge, I miss again. And goes for the Steel Wing, which is weird. I don't know. So I switch it back into my Galvantula, go straight for the Thunder. One hit KOs the Crobat. I see Steelix switch into Sawsbuck as he goes for the Stealth Rocks. He switches out, goes into the Sceptile, so I go for the Nature Power, predicting the Steelix to stay in, which is Earthquake. So the Sceptile goes for the Focus Blast, which I did not expect either. So I switch out to my Qwilfish. I don't know, I've no reason why I did that, knowing that it's a Sceptile and it's a Qwilfish. So he Leech Seeds, I Spike, it Giga Drains, I Spike again. So I'm just gonna set up spikes and then switch out, go straight into like a Galvantula. Knowing that I have a Bug Buzz. So I go for that. When it KOs the Sceptile, sends back into Steelix. I'm not sure what the Steelix was gonna do, so I switch back into Qwilfish for Death Fodder. And Steelix goes for an Earthquake. So thinking that it's more of a defensive Steelix, I go to Floatzel. Choice Banded Low Kick, did barely half. Then he goes for the Thunder Fang, which I did not expect whatsoever. Must have been like a sheer force boosted. Anyways, I go straight into the Galvantula. I use Drain Punch, KOs the Steelix, he sends out a Rhyperior. Go for the Drain Punch again, hoping that it would do more than that, but it only does 27. It goes for the Avalanche, which again I don't know why he did that. Anyways, I go for another Drain Punch, just whittling down its HP. Goes for the Rock Wrecker, which is, I don't know. It's a good thing though, but he has to switch, or yeah. So I go back into Galvantula, I hit Empower, water it, just for the win. And that is game. Okay, battle number 2 against same guy, Terrell. This time, I'm gonna lead out with the Typhlosion, he leads out with the Fortress. Scarf Typhlosion with Eruption, so I go straight for Eruption. He's alive, thanks to Sturdy. He goes for Revenge, which I did not expect. I thought he was gonna go for like a Stealth Rocks. But apparently he goes for Revenge, and I live with 6% HP. So I go for another Eruption, even though I know that it's gonna not do anything to anything that's gonna switch in. But he doesn't switch out. Then he switches into a Lopunny. I don't know what this Lopunny is gonna do, so I stay in. He goes for a Fake Out. So I don't know what kind of, I have no idea what kind of Lopunny this is. So I switch into a Hitmonchan. I got this Hitmonchan off NBZ's videos, if anyone is curious. So I go for the Drain Punch, not over predicting or anything. He switches into Tropius. And so I go for the Ice Punch, which is 4 times super effective, and then it 1-hit KOs Atropius. So Life Orb is happening, I'm at 80%. He switches back into Lopunny. I switch back out and go into Tangrowth, knowing that he's gonna go for a Fake Out. So he's out with the Fake Out. I get full HP due to the leftovers recovery. He goes for a substitute, so I don't know what kind of this thing's gonna do. I go for the sleep powder, not predicting that it's gonna go for a substitute. So I switch out, go into Electivire, knowing that my Electivire has Cross Chop, and he goes for an agility. Now, I don't know why he went for the agility, cause he's got, what, Fake Out? So I go for the Cross Chop, he goes for a Circle Throw. So I don't know, maybe he was thinking that Circle Throw didn't have a negative priority and that it is affected by its speed, but oh well. I get switched into Marowak, and he goes for a substitute. I go for another Earthquake, and yeah, the substitute faded, so I go for the Double Edge, Rock Hit. Yeah, Thick Club boosted, Double Edge from a Marowak, and he switches into a Cloyster. I know these Cloysters like to Shell Smash, and then Icicle Crash, and Icicle Spear, and stuff like that. So I go straight for the Fire Punch, not knowing that he would go straight into and do the Icicle Spears. So my Marowak is dead, I switch into Hitmonchan, and I have Drain Punch again. And he lives with 1% of HP. Oh my goodness. And then he goes for the Icicle Spear again. I'm not sure why he didn't set up on me or anything. He hits 5 times. I have 15% HP. I go straight for the Mach Punch. And the Cloyster is down. So my Hitmonchan's living at 2% HP. And in comes a Clefable. So I go for the Mach Punch. And I die from my Life Orb. Recoil. And it turns out that this Clefable has Stealth Rock. So I don't know. Late game Stealth Rocks, I guess it can be helpful at times. But not on my team, because my team is not really Stealth Rock weak. So I go into Electivire. Straight for the Cross Chop. Thankfully it doesn't miss. And Electivire is sitting here at 69% HP. He goes to the Bastiodon, gets Cross Chop to the face, and he lives with Sturdy. And he goes for a Roar, and I get roared into my Tangrowth. So this Tangrowth sitting out here, leftovers recovery, and I go for the Giga Drain, just to, yeah, I think that's the only attacking move I have on this Tangrowth. And the Bastion is dead, and that leaves me with a 3-0 victory. Alright, battle number 3. I'm using the same team as the first battle. I lead out with Archeops, he leads out with the Politoed. I don't know why he let out with the Politoed. I go for the U-turn, does 33%. I U-turn into Floatzel, knowing that I can take a better hit, but not really, because Floatzel just lost like over half of its health to a Hydro Pump. So I go for the low kick, because I'm Swift Swim, Choice Banded, Jolly Floatzel, and I knew that was the only effective move that I had on it. He goes for the Psychic, kills me off. I switch into my Galvantula, scare him out. He goes into Parasect. I go for the Thunder, paralyze the Parasect. Dry Skin, leftovers, you know, Rain team, and their regeneration and stuff. So I switch into Quillfish, and he goes for a Spore. Now this is gonna become a key play because he not really know about the sleep clause in this. So I switch out and go into the Sazbuk, and he switches into an Excelgor. Goes for the substitute. I go for a Swords Dance, and this is more or less a stalwart right now. So let's speed this up. He goes for Hidden Power. I lose 23%. I go for the return. Substitute fades. Life Orb recoil is racking up. He's going for the substitute again. I go for the return again. And more after turn effects. The rain continues to fall. I go for a return. He goes for substitute. I go for the return. He goes for substitute. It's pretty much just a stalwart, and I go for the Horn Leash this time to gain back the HP that I lost from Life Orb, hoping that it would break the sub, and fortunately it does. And he goes for the substitute again, and I go for the return. And now he's at a point where he can't make a substitute, so he goes for the rest. And he's got hydration, which makes it so he gets cured fast in the rain. So it's just a big old mess, and it's just he's trying to outstall my PP probably. More returns, more substitutes, more Horn Leeches. I'm not even sure why I dealt with all this. And he kept, when he's not at a point where he can make a sub, he just rests it off and stuff. So let's speed this up more. Rest. Horn Leech. Nobody's winning this if this kept going on. So he's like trolling me. Oh, this time he doesn't set up a sub. And I go for the Horn Leech. He's at 33% HP. He goes for the Hidden Power again. Probably like Bug? No, not Bug. Probably like Ice or something. Or yeah, maybe. I don't know. So just because of him not using substitute, I use return, kills it off. He switches into Swanna. He used the Hurricane, 100% accurate in rain. So I die. I switch into Galvantula, and he goes into an Armaldo, and I go for the Thunder, and it dies from a critical hit. Yes. So he switches into Politoed. I go for Thunder. Super effective. This Galvantula is like sweeping his team. He switches into Vaporeon, and he's gonna take a Thunder to his face. So yeah, this Galvantula is like tearing through his team. Switches into Parasect. Thundered to the face, 46% of his HP loss. He goes for the Spore. Right there, he goes for the Spore, but I still have my Quillfish asleep. So, Sleep Claws, thank you very much. He goes for the Cross Poison, doesn't do very much. I'm just keep going for Thunders, hoping that it would kill him soon. Yeah. And after a few tries, it kills. And then he switches into Swanna. This Swanna is going to take a Thunder to his face, her face, its face, and it's dead. And that's going to leave me with a 4-0.